So I actually grew up in Palo Alto. So I've been steeped in the technology world since day one. I actually started out at iProspect, which is an ad agency working on search engine marketing, SEO and SEM. And then I made the move to Adobe Marketing Cloud, where I worked on our media optimizer. Took a detour to an SMS marketing startup, and then a call tracking startup, and then found my way to Clearbit, which was eventually acquired by HubSpot. It's kind of interesting because like the arc of my journey has been largely B2B. I find B2B problems really interesting. I think there's something really clean about B2B, which is it's mostly about solving a real problem, solving it well, delivering real like ROI, and then like making money from it. And I think that the feedback loop is sort of honest and direct. Like everything is about proving value versus sort of like whiz bang or sort of shiny flash in the pan features that don't actually do much. Like you will be outed as an imposter if you are building a B2B product that doesn't add value. Growing up in Palo Alto, I've lived through a lot of really strange times. Like I saw the original .com boom and crash, social, mobile, crypto, NFTs, the metaverse, and now AI. And I've started to learn, I don't know if I've learned this. I've started to realize that there are things that look really valuable that end up being completely hype. There are things that look ridiculous that end up being really valuable. Like in 2009, I was riding the train home from San Francisco, and this guy I went to high school with sat next to me, and he started talking about this thing called Bitcoin. And I thought he was talking about a scam. And in retrospect, like, I feel so silly. Like I should have been more curious. And so I think something that I hold on to is just to be really open and curious about new things, even if they might look weird or sound weird at first, but also bring a sort of reasonable skepticism, because there is a lot of like fear mongering and hype that doesn't end up panning out. And I've seen that a lot. I don't know. I won't say that I can predict the future because I can't, but I feel generally confident that like I can adapt to whatever comes next. And I think like working at HubSpot, which is a Boston-based company, I think they bring more of like a rigor and a long arc thinking, whereas the Bay brings this like intensity and velocity. And I sort of like the clash, and I think really good decisions come from where those two meet. So it's been fun. I think the best test for whether you've built a feature or a platform is, let's say that like the model you're using suddenly got deprecated tomorrow, and you just have to swap it out for a new one. If your product breaks, you probably built a feature on top of a model. If you're able to quickly move past that migration and customers don't notice, then you built a platform that uses a model. And I actually think most things that people call AI platforms today would fail that test. But there's a lot of complexity in how you get to a place where you can pass that test. I think that the hardest question right now on the platform side is data shape. And what I mean by that is like this answer for what a good AI platform looks like keeps moving. It was like maybe a year or two ago that everyone thought vector DBs were the answer, but in practice, they're painful to maintain. They fall behind every time a new embedding model ships. It becomes a migration to update all of your vector embeddings. And so with agents and MCP, now you can sort of scatter and gather, get all the answers you need. It's winning over just sort of like a vector DB based solution for a lot of valuable problems. And that's changed very recently. Like I feel like you could have built an amazing AI platform a year ago, and now almost everything you built is sort of outdated, and you have to kind of toss it away and restart or rethink. But what's interesting is where we're starting to land with like MCP is actually back to like where we've always been, which is like build really great interfaces and assume that like a human is going to be doing the work. Like agents sort of act as humans, just like really, really rapidly iterating. Really good question. I sort of think, so what I have seen is we have done a number of successful pilots at HubSpot, and we've ended up deploying some of them after we've run through pilots because they have gone so well. And there were three things that we had in place that made them successful. The first one is accountability. So like having a driver or directly responsible individual who is like named and who is responsible for like evaluating this. The second one is measurement. So we actually do track adoption. We track to see like what percentage of our team is using it. We've looked at data like number of PRs merged per week per developer, and we've seen improvements with AI. Additionally, we've done a lot of enablement. So for every tool that we try to roll out, we do a lot of training. There's office hours. There's a dedicated Slack channel for like the initial group of people in the pilot where they can ask questions, and then we roll it out more broadly. And so there's like a clear process, a clear sense of like, what are we hoping to accomplish, and evaluation criteria. I will also say that there isn't that much skepticism at the top. So the person who is owning this pilot, like they tend to, and I'm in this bucket, have conviction that this is a very valuable technology. So like if we aren't able to get value out of it, it's not because there's something wrong with the technology, it's because there's something wrong with the rollout. And maybe like to me, when I just look at what's possible, it's like so obvious to me that this can optimize someone's workflow and it can deliver a ton of value, especially like since Opus 4.6 came out. Like a lot of naysayers are now converts because of how good these models have gotten. Like if you come at it with that level of conviction, you're going to do what you can to make it successful. And I would guess that not all of these pilots that failed had the right sponsorship.